and your level of English. Apart from that, test sections are different, right? The speaking skills are different, the test results are different, and absolutely the cost is also different. Okay. So let's be on the same page. Let's be on the same platform and let's get started with the session. We are going to get started now. So I've already introduced exactly what TOEFL is, right? So this is this exam is going to test your ability to combine listening, reading, speaking, and writing skills where it matters the most. That means in the classroom. So it gives your institution access to millions of students who have proven that they have, what it takes to succeed in an English speaking academic environment. So it is a standardized test that measures the English language ability of non-native speakers looking to enroll in an English speaking university or program. So the test is made up of 4 components: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So now I'm going to share my screen with all of you. Yeah. And there is one rule of my class. Whenever you're sitting in the class, please make sure that you have a notepad and a pen or a pencil. Keep making notes because ultimately in the test also you have to make a habit of making notes. Okay. So the moment you start from here, you will develop a good habit because this is one of the most important strategy that you have to follow here. Okay, please confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is the test format, guys. Okay. The TOEFL test measures all 4 academic skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, the way they are used in the classroom. Okay. Now, the language used in the test closely reflects how English is used in everyday academic settings, and the test contains 100% academic content with integrated task. Okay, with integrated task. Now, the first section that we are going to talk about is reading. Okay, where you get 2 passages, each 700 words. I hope you guys are making notes. 2 passages, okay, each 700 words. Number of questions 20. Estimated time is 35 minutes. Okay, and you are scored on a scale of 0 to 30. Now, there are going to be multiple focus passages, comparative, contrastive, cause and effect, and you're going to have 10 questions each passage, right? Total of 20 questions. Okay. Now, it can be a little overwhelming today because you might want to know more about it. Okay. But just take limited information today because once we start with each and every section, I will be giving you the other details. Okay. The next section is listening. The next section is listening, where you will be listening to 3 lectures. Okay. Some with classroom discussion, each 3 to 5 minutes, and 6 questions each. If you want, I can make a note of it here. 3 lectures. All right. Each 3 to 5 minutes and 6 questions each. Okay. That means it comes to 6 into 3, 18 questions.
It's mentioned
Okay.
28 questions over.
Sorry.
It's mentioned 28 in the table.
This is 18 questions are from 3 lectures. Okay. You will also listen to 2 conversations. Okay. Each 3 minutes. All right. And 5 questions each. Okay. 5 questions each. So total, it comes to how many questions, Nirav? 10 questions. Okay. So how many questions in total now? 28?
Yes.
18 plus 10, 28, right? The estimated time that you get is 36 minutes. And again, you are scored on a scale of 0 to 30. Next is speaking. Okay. Next is speaking, where you're going to get 4 tasks. Okay. One independent task. One independent task where you will be asked a very familiar question and you will be asked to express your opinion on a familiar topic. Okay. And you will also get 3 integrated tasks. Now, what do I mean when I say integrated task? Can anyone answer? What is integrated task? Any idea? Mix of both reading and listening. Absolutely correct, Priyanka. Independent means you're going to get an independent question to express your opinion, right? Integrated means you will have to answer the question based on what you read and hear. You will be either reading a passage or listening to a conversation. Based on that, you will be getting some questions and you have to record them. So you get up to 30 seconds to prepare the response and up to 1 minute you have to answer the question. Estimated time is 16 minutes and uh, again you are scored on a scale of 0 to 30. Okay. Next is writing, where you're going to get 2 tasks. Okay. 29 minutes in total. The first is a 20-minute task, okay, which is also known as an integrated task. Both the tasks are going to be integrated based on what you read and hear. That means you will be reading a passage, okay, and then you will be listening to a conversation or a lecture, and then you will have a question where you will have to write your response in 20 minutes, right? The next task is a 10-minute task, okay, for this is also known as an academic discussion. This is also known as an academic discussion where you are supposed to state and support an opinion in an online classroom discussion. Okay, that means you're going to read a discussion among 3 speakers, 2 or 3 speakers, 2 or 3 people, and then you will have a question which will ask you to state your opinion and support the one of those people's opinion. Okay, so the estimated time is around 29 minutes, 20 minutes and 10 minutes. Okay, and again you are scored on a scale of 0 to 30. Is that clear, everyone? Any doubts?
Like in reading section,
Hmm.
can you just explain what is there under reading section?
Under reading, you're going to get 2 passages of 700 words each. All right. Mix of multiple focus passages, comparative, contrastive. You will get 10 questions each passage for which you will be getting 35 minutes. Now we will be diving into more detail, Neera. Once we will start with reading, I will be explaining you the types of questions, right? What exactly each question type requires you to do and the strategy to follow and how you're going to manage your time. Okay, because solving 20 questions in 35 minutes requires a strategy. You cannot go by the traditional method of first reading the passage, understanding it, and then attacking the questions. We follow a different strategy here. So we will be talking about it, but it was very important for all of you to understand the test pattern first, the format of the test, what exactly each section is going to offer on the plate. Okay, is that clear? Can we go ahead? Perfect. I hope we all have made notes here, right? Now, just to recapitulate what we have discussed so far, this is a blueprint of the test structure, right? We have discussed everything in detail. Okay. Now, the total score possible is between 0 to 120, right? The responses from the speaking and writing sections are scored by a combination of AI scoring and ETS certified raters. Okay. The score delivery time varies depending on how the test taker took the test and how score recipient receives the score. Okay. Now, let's talk about the TOEFL IBT paper edition. Okay. Now, this is available in selected countries if you prefer that testing format. There is no difference. Okay. It is given in 2 testing sessions. So, reading, listening, and writing are taken on paper at an ETS authorized test center. The speaking section is taken at home in a separate session monitored online by a human proctor. All right. So the TOEFL IBT test provides scores in 4 skill areas: reading 0 to 30, listening 0 to 30, speaking 0 to 30, writing 0 to 30, total score 0 to 120, and the total score is the sum of the 4 sections. All right. Now we are going to cover the next important thing, which is why TOEFL. Okay. Now, these are certain points, right? I'm sure everybody can read these points and make a note of it, right? There is nothing to explain here. Yeah. But what I was saying. Yeah. So we know that this TOEFL is one of the most widely administered and commonly accepted English language test, particularly for students looking to gain admission into a US university. Another common exam that we have discussed is IELTS, which is typically taken by students waiting to apply to UK. Now, although we will be focusing on the TOEFL in the next upcoming sessions, but we should know the comparison and difference between the both. Okay. So when you choose TOEFL to show your English proficiency, universities notice and they know that you are ready to succeed because it is accepted by more than 13,000 universities and other institutions in over 160 countries and preferred worldwide. Okay. And it is the world's premier English language test for study, work, and immigration. The next reason is it is available worldwide. Okay. We have testing available in more than 200 countries and territories. Okay. Now you have to choose where and how you want to take the TOEFL IBT. I mean, at a test center or at home. Okay. Prepare with confidence. Okay. There are a lot of official practice materials that would give you a tailored performance feedback. You will be able to track your progress and much more is there. Okay. Uh, this is the only comprehensive test prep, right, for next 15 days that we are going to do, which will help you to get ready for the test. Okay. And because there are multiple raters which are used to measure your performance, the format is very simple. You just need to know how to manage your time. Time is the ultimate key here. Okay. You have MCQs in the reading and listening section. There is room for minor errors. Okay. When it comes to grammar or vocabulary. The writing sections are little shorter, unlike IELTS, because there you have to write a report and an essay. Okay. And it is low priced as well. All right. Now moving ahead. I'm just giving you a quick tour of the interface that you will see on the computer screen when you give your reading test. Okay. So there is a split screen layout, right? Unlike IELTS, when you're giving it on paper, most of the people, they choose IELTS because there is one less thing that you have to do, because if you take test on paper, you keep on flipping the pages here and there, going to the passage and then coming to the questions, right? Which is not the case here. Although you will be displayed with the passage first to go through it for around 3 minutes. But when the questions pop up on the screen, on one hand, you will have the questions. On the other hand, you will have the passage there. Okay. And then most of the questions are multiple choice questions, because obviously then only you can manage the time. The questions are not subjective. You just have to click on the best answer choice that you choose and then move ahead. Okay. So there is a help button here. You can go back to the question. By clicking on next, you can go to the next question. You can hide your answer. You can exit the section. You can review the questions as well. Okay. Now this is the listening section format. Okay. Although you will be hearing the recording for only once, right? There is no second chance to hear the recording. Ultimately, the moment you stop hearing the recording, you will have the questions displayed on the screen. But sometimes you have an headphone button, icon on the computer screen. So that means a particular part of the recording will be played to answer that particular question. Okay. I think I'm giving you a lot of details. Once we start with the listening section, you will get more clarity. So just look at the interface. Okay. So this is again the independent speaking question. No, listening. The woman expresses her opinion of the proposed policy change. State her opinion, explain the reason she gives for holding that opinion. Okay, this is an integrated task. So you get 30 seconds to prepare, and then for 60 seconds you have to speak. So this is how the test looks like. Yeah. This is writing task 2, academic discussion. Okay. Where you will, this is the question and this is the academic discussion between two people. Okay. Sorry, three people, Professor Tress, Chloe and Jeremiah. So the question is, your professor is teaching a class on economics. Write a post responding to the professor's question. And in your response, you should express and support your opinion. Make a contribution to the discussion. An effective response will contain at least 100 words. So this is task 2, where you get only 10 minutes to write 100 words. Okay. Now, let's do a comparative analysis between the 3 exams, TOEFL, IELTS, and PTE. PTE is also again another English proficiency exam here. All right. Now, to make you understand better, TOEFL is conducted, the duration of the entire test is less than 2 hours. Okay. IELTS is 2 hours 45 minutes. PT is 2 hours again. The fee is keeps on fluctuating depending upon the rate of the dollar, right? It can be taken on paper or computer, right? This is also can be taken on paper or computer, but PT is strictly computer based. In TOEFL, the speaking section is AI driven because the responses are recorded. This is conducted as a personal interview by with the examiner. PT is also AI driven. There is no break. All the sections are conducted at a go. Okay. Listening and reading skills have all multiple choice questions, right? But in IELTS, you have at least 10 different types of questions, like short answers, sentence completion, multiple choice, table completion, true, false, not given, matching questions. Okay. But here you get only multiple choice questions, but uh, different varieties of questions. Okay. In TOEFL, you get your results within 4 to 8 days. And in IELTS, if you're taking the test on paper, you expect your results after 13 days. But if you're taking your exam on computer, you can expect your results within 3 to 5 days. All right. The validity of all the 3 tests is 2 years. There is no difference on that. Okay. Now let's talk about speaking section in a little more detail, guys, right? Now, the first task is independent task, where you are required to draw entirely your own ideas, opinions, and experiences when you respond to the question. Okay. Question number 2 to 4, because I said there are 4 tasks. These are integrated speaking tasks which require you to combine your English language skills, listening and speaking, or listening, reading, and speaking, just as you would in or out of a classroom, right? So preparation time is, you will get 15 to 30 seconds of preparation time before each response, and your response will be 45 to 60 seconds. Okay, 45 to 60 seconds, right? So this is the basic structure of the speaking test. So it should take about 16 minutes to complete the speaking section. The speaking tasks are scored based on the speaking scoring guides, which are also known as rubrics, by a combination of AI scoring and certified human raters, and raw score are converted to a scaled section score of 0 to 30. Now, let's now talk about the basis of assessment. What are the parameters based on which your speaking section is uh, assessed by the examiner? Just give me a minute. I'm going to have a glass of water and come back. All right. So each of the TOEFL IBT speaking test is scored on a scale of 0 to 4, with 4 being the highest. Okay. So your combined score on all speaking tasks is then converted to a score between 0 and 30 for the TOEFL IBT speaking section overall. So basically a score of 25 or higher is considered a good score on the speaking section. Yeah. So the evaluation is done by a combination of AI scoring and several highly skilled human raters based on 3 criterias. Okay. And these 3 criterias are delivery, language use, okay, and topic development. Okay. Delivery, language use, and topic development. Now, there are sub-parameters under these 3 criterias. So language use, first of all, we'll talk about language use, sorry, delivery. It assesses your pronunciation, all right, intonation, clarity of speech, and pace. In other words, your answer should be easily understandable to native speakers. Okay, there has to be a clarity in your speech and words, right? Don't go by a fast pace or a slow pace. Follow the natural pace. Avoid being monotonous. Use good amount of stress and intonation, some rhythm and style, and make sure that you pronounce the words properly. No need to follow and adopt a fake accent. Okay, no need to be natural and speak. I always tell my students, imagine that you're sitting at Starbucks having a cup of coffee with your friend. The way you talk to people in your everyday life, this is how you're going to talk there also. Don't worry about the accent, right? These raters and these AI graders are able to understand each and every accent, right? Even if it is an MTI issue, but if it is not impeding with the communication, then also it's very fine. Okay. Next is language use. All right. This is going to assess the correct use of grammar and vocabulary. It means that your answer should demonstrate a solid grasp of English, employing a variety of fitting words while maintaining correct grammar usage. All right. The examiners are not expecting you to use hi-fi words, advanced vocabulary. That is not required. But make sure that you are showing flexible use of words, use idioms, collocations, phrasal verbs, right? But with proper appropriate, I mean, it has to be appropriate and uh, grammatically correct. Okay, I've seen some people, they tend to use a lot of words, right? Which, because of which they make a lot of grammatical errors also. Okay. The third parameter is topic development, right? This assess the coherence and completeness of your answer. How completely you answer the question, and if your answer is coherent or not. Okay, coherent means the structure of your answer plus how beautiful you are able to show a clear progression of the ideas, right? You have to use certain connectors like firstly, secondly. If you want to add more points to your answer, then words like additionally, moreover, okay, in addition to this, furthermore, all these words would give you a good score, right? And how clearly you are able to express your ideas. So it includes arranging your ideas logically, offering enough details, and connecting your ideas effectively. Look at the way I am speaking. My pace is very normal, but I'm making use of a lot of uh, stress and intonation, voice modulation, right? This is how the examiners, the raters are, they are expecting you to speak. Any doubt till here, anyone? Perfect. Let's move ahead then. Yeah. So we need to work on our delivery, language use, topic development, making sure that we are able to fulfill all the requirements, sub requirements of the uh, examiner. Okay. Now, let's talk about some general tips on speaking. Yes. So, apart from being loud and clear, we have to follow a moderate pace. We need to keep an eye on the timer. Yeah, the timer will always be there in front of you so that you have some pressure on your head. Yes. Make use of your preparation time very wisely to generate and brainstorm the ideas as per the pattern of the question and give a flawless answer. Okay. Following a proper format is also very important, be it writing or speaking, and make use of connectors, right? So otherwise, apart from this, I want to share some more tips which I keep giving to my students, irrespective of what they are going to do in the future, whether they are going to take TOEFL, IELTS or PTE, or even if, see, the tips that I'm going to give you is not going to help you only for your exam, but overall in your life as well. Okay. My first tip is practice instead of watching videos. How many of us watch videos these days? Scrolling the reels, watching YouTube videos, informative content. Yeah, it is. I'm not saying it is harmful, right? We know, we get it. When you're tired, it is all too easy to just hit that play button and let the video do the talking for you. And this is a great start. Yes, it is a great start, trust me. But this is just a start. Getting my point? This is just a start. Do you remember learning how to drive a car? People, those who know driving here. How did you drive? How did you learn driving the car? Can anyone tell me?
Got it.
Went to a driving school first, registered. Then there
Hmm.
was a assigned uh like instructor who
Hmm.
taught me like the basics first. What's a gear? What's the accelerator? Brakes? And
Hmm.
then after that we went with the safety road first, and then on the normal road.
Great. Yeah. So I'm sure you might have watched a few videos to help prepare you for getting behind the wheel. Yes or no, Nirav? But definitely you learned a lot more
It
once you
was not
sat on the
useful at
driver's.
all.
Yes, yes, tell me.
It was not useful at all. Videos.
I know.
It just confuses a lot.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. But you learned a lot more once you sat on the driver's seat and stepped on the gas. Yes or no? Yeah. So there is, only so much you can learn from a video. True improvement will come through active thought and consistent practice on your TOEFL speaking skills as well. I know this may sound little extreme, but the implications are huge. Trust me. If you only have 10 minutes a day to practice speaking, 9 minutes should be spent working on your responses and just 1 minute on watching the videos about TOEFL speaking. Is that clear? Right? Your real growth comes through practice. Okay. So you're saying to score higher on the speaking test, I will actually have to practice speaking aloud. Absolutely. That's absolutely right. Okay. That's absolutely right. Whenever you speak, whenever you practice, record your voice. This might be the most important of the TOEFL speaking tips. Think of recording your voice like a stage rehearsal before a play. Yeah. You don't want to make all your mistakes on stage in front of everyone, right? Yes or no? That's why we do rehearsals. Yes. So practicing clear and correct pronunciation is a must before you take the actual test. Okay, there are a lot of apps like voice memos. We have voice recorder for Samsung, voice memos for iPhone, right? So make proper use of it. This works for a lot of people. This absolutely works for a lot of people. Okay. And another option is to share your voice recording with a friend. Most popular chats these days, like WhatsApp, Messenger, WeChat, we have Telegram, and all have a voice recording feature. So just press the button, record your message, and sends it. It would send it automatically. Okay. So these things are going to really help you a lot. All right. Perfect. Then whenever you're practicing, always use a timer. If you're anything like me, you hate the shrill beep of your wake up alarm. Yes. So you probably get the same feeling when you are responding to a question in the speaking section and you hear that beep. That means you're running out of time. Okay. So do you feel like you need to get better at managing your time for each speaking test? Okay. So the thing is, for independent speaking, you have only 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to speak for each question. And for the integrated, you get 30 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to speak, right? So this is, guys, this is not a lot of time. This is not a lot of time. And the worst part is you may be so flustered by, falling behind that you are unable to focus on the next task. There is a lot of pressure. But the good news is that this can be avoided with one simple trick. Use a timer during practice. Okay. To practice for an independent task, just follow 4 simple steps. Set your timer for 60 seconds. Spend 15 seconds to prepare. Spend 45 seconds to respond. And same goes for your integrated task as well. Okay. Same goes for integrated task as well. Okay. So please, if you care about your score and, you are exact that type of student, I'm there to help you for next 15 days. Okay. So, we will be discussing the other details section by section, one by one, right, in the upcoming classes. Okay. We will be discussing about the format of the questions, what to do first. You're going to unite the statement with reasons you hold. You're going to connect the first reason and give example. You're going to connect with second reason and give example, or state the counter argument for the opposite view, give a concluding statement. There are a lot of things. And this is what we call as a format of speaking or format of writing. Is that clear? Okay. So first of all, whatever notes you have prepared, go back, right? Revise them. Okay. The format, the test structure should be on your tips. Okay. Before we start practicing and start section by section, and then we are going to move ahead. So there are a lot of things before we get started with the actual practice, and then we are going to start. Okay, that's all from my side. Any doubts, any questions? I will be very happy to answer them. Any doubt, any questions, please let me know. But make sure in my class, right, build up a habit of uh, going through the notes once the class is over to help you prepare better for the next class. Any doubt, anyone?
Uh, in speaking section, the in what does independent mean? That the topic we have to go and we have to prepare and go, or
Independent means you're going to get a general topic, a familiar topic. For example, Nirav, what do you feel? Individual study is better or studying in a group is better? Okay.
okay,
This is what exactly I mean when I say independent question. Right? It is going to ask for your opinion. What do you agree or disagree that basic education should be compulsory in India? Right? Nothing technical, no rocket science, very familiar questions. Okay. Any other doubt? Anyone? All right then. We are done for the day. This was just an orientation class. We have a lot of things on the plate for the next 15 days. So wishing you all the best, everyone. I hope to see all of you very soon. Yeah. And have a lovely weekend. Take care. Stay safe. Good night. Bye, everyone.